Hey guys, I just wanted to reach out to you and let you know that Surewinder is still selling amazing products. Some of you guys have been dragging your feet for whatever reason. If your shoulder hurts, do not waste time. Pull the trigger. I just bought 4 or 5 of them, and we had 2 guys out. You know how much it cost me to pay for 2 guys being out with bad shoulders? We just pulled the trigger and we said, listen, everybody's going to have one on a truck. It's mandatory. You got to use it. Don't hesitate. Don't wait till your guys go down. It's going to cost you more. Buy a Surewinder. It's not every day someone invents something that changes the game. I found out about this product that I'm talking to you about, and I had to try it. So I ordered a few, and after using it, I'm sold. Now we stock them on our trucks. It's called All Brace, and it will help you sell more service and buy you time until doors come in. There's never been a greater time for a product like this. Phil has a video on his website of him cutting a door literally in half, installing the All Brace, and running it like nothing ever happened. It is literally incredible. One of the greatest selling videos I've ever seen. You're going to want to check it out at all-brace.com.
What's up, guys? Ryan here with Torsion Talk Podcast, and we have somebody from Forney, Texas here today. So this was there's all kinds of jokes we can make, but we're going to be adults today and not talk about how it sounds like horny, but is indeed Forney. Forney.
With an F.
F. Capital F. So Levi Tanner's with us today, but before we get into a little bit about Levi and Tanner's Garage Doors, we have our co-host, Tamara.
Hello, good morning.
Well, we don't know technically when people are listening.
Oh,
so
hello. I hope you're having a great day today.
There you go. Or good morning, good day, or good evening, or good night.
Too much.
Is it too much?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So today we got
nothing.
What?
Go.
Oh, she's in a goofy mood. This should be interesting today. Levi Tanner from Tanner's Garage Door in Forney, Texas. For those of you guys who don't know, Levi, how are you today? Tell us where Forney, Texas is.
I'm doing good, thank you. So Forney is about 20 miles east of Dallas, in between Highway 80 and Interstate 20.
Okay. And for those of you guys who don't know, Texas and the surrounding suburbs are a really competitive market for garage doors. How have you been able to, well, first of all, how long have you been in business?
Technically, I've been in garage doors since 2006, but we actually opened our business 2014. However, I didn't actually do anything with it until full time until a year ago.
Okay. So you got basically a 1-year-old company, and you're in one of the competitiveness. That's not right. The most competitive markets in America. Tell us, how has that been for you?
It's actually, it hasn't been too bad. First thing, I don't really focus on what everybody else around me is doing.
Good for you.
I just do my own thing. I do kind of consult with a couple of other, I would say, startup companies really, and work with them, figure out, what to do about pricing and just tips and whatnot. But we just keep on pushing through.
And you're doing really well.
I am actually. I really struggle on the process of hiring because I'm, I guess, too big of a chicken, and I want to make sure I have a couple of ducks in a row. Not all of them, because I know it's not possible for me to do that. But I do at least want to have a few of the right ones in order before I hire someone. But I need to bad.
Well, I think that is important, 100%. And, probably one of the biggest mistakes I made was not having a good system and process in place, trying to hire early stage it was like fly by the seat of my pants, rock and roll. Like, you know, I was prepping people during the interview process, like, you're gonna hit the ground running, you know, we're gonna throw you in the fire. And it was attractive to some people, right? Like that kind of like that wild west type leadership. But the problem with that is eventually as your business evolves and you do have to put systems and processes in place, you've established a whole group of people who don't like systems and processes. Your processes aren't uniformed, and you got a bunch of wild west men and women who are going to buck the system when you put in systems and processes, because you hired people who enjoy that craziness, and now you're going to have a bunch of turnover. So I think that you're playing it smart. Will this be your first hire when you hire somebody, or you got somebody already?
No, it'll be my first.
So that's scary, right? I remember that feeling.
Yeah.
Because you're like, do I need to, like, what happens if I'm short? Do I not pay myself? Do I not pay him? Do I not pay a bill? Like, what do I do first? Like, you're always kind of iffy. And then, like, I'll be honest with you, I would say, and not to put too much pressure on the decision, because this isn't going to help at all, but your first hire may be your most critical and most important.
Right.
And so choosing the right person, in my opinion, the first employee is probably one of the most critical, important decisions you'll ever make.
Right. So where I struggle, I guess, is two is, okay, do I hire someone to be in the field, train them up, or do I go more towards hiring someone for the office and I keep working the field? Because I do pretty much everything except for all the good stuff my wife does to help out.
Yeah.
She's a huge help.
Yeah, she's amazing. So that's a good question. What are you leaning towards?
I've been leaning towards doing a technician, because I do a lot of networking groups in the mornings and at lunch. So a lot of my days don't even actually start in the field until after lunch. And then I'm usually in the field till 10, 11 o'clock at night. I've gone as late as 1 or 2 in the morning, as long as they're willing to let me come by, just to get that work done and not stay too far out, you know.
How old are you?
41.
Dang, going hard.
All the time.
You know what, dude? 40 is only halfway through. Maybe not.
I hope it's just the beginning.
Yeah.
That's
I
right.
remember when I was 39 and my birthday was coming up, I remember just thinking, man, I've got like the first 40's been a freaking ride. But if I cannot make half the mistakes that I made, but still do well and keep pushing for another 15 years, I can probably coast the rest of it. So that's what I'm trying to do. We'll see.
Right.
I just lost like 50 G's being risky with crypto. So
yeah,
that sucks. That'll set you back a little bit. Maybe add an extra year or two to the good old plan I had there.
Yeah, let's slow you down a little bit.
Yeah. And the good thing is they still let me log in and look at it. I just
see that loss.
So every day I literally log in. Well, it was a company called Voyager, which was supposed to be like the safest, you know, they're publicly traded, one of the safest. They touted being like FDIC insured and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. And so come to find out, like the FDIC, it came out that it was only for cash, not for crypto. And then come to find out it wasn't even for their platform. It was for the bank that backs them's platform. So like they were false advertising. It's a total mess. There's going to be a class action lawsuit and everything. But I saw Ryan Stewman from Apex post about it, and he said he lost 400,000. So
400,000.
At least I'm not there. But you can log in and look at it. You can log in and look at it.
That makes
all
you feel
day.
good, right?
No, I mean, you know,
you at least have
technically it's still there. You just
time.
can't get it. Yeah. I try to do the stranger thing. I'll take my phone and I'll be like trying to
like 11.
Yeah, like 11. Doesn't work. But whatever. My wife's like, you're such a dummy. So yeah, that was a tough conversation to have with my wife, but she handled it really well. I think she was just like, okay. And that was it.
Because she knows you'll take care of her.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that's
I
gotta
just
feel
bought her
good.
a
Your
car.
family has faith in you.
Yeah, they do. But crypto's a risk when you play in crypto for sure. But all right. So on the topic. So you got a tough decision. When are you planning on making this decision?
Well, I was actually hoping to have it done last month. So I'm hoping by the end of this month I
That
can
was
have
one of his
someone.
goals in GDU, right?
It was,
It
yeah.
is.
It's a carryover.
But you know
Yep.
what? Listen, it's kind of like here with such and such. In Aaron Overhead Doors, when I was looking for somebody to run like my daily operations for Aaron, I knew I could, like, even though it was super stressful and I was maxed out, I couldn't make the wrong decision. And so I literally recruited Josh for like a year. So, just understand that you're going, like, this is no joke, dude. This is your most important hire. Probably,
Yeah.
I mean, if you got two and one sucks, you still got one. You got
Right.
three, same thing, right? But if your first one and your only one that you hire sucks, then a lot of times it doesn't get back to the office until a delay. So you kind of start figuring things out for a while. And one thing I wish I probably would have done earlier is like rode with the guys for a couple of days or more, and then doing like blind quality control checks where, and I didn't do this in the beginning. We do it more often now, but just pick random accounts and go take a look. And then if we got a guy that we're curious about, that we're not sure how he's doing, we can do quality control checks on them. Just kind of, not trying to pick on them, but just making sure their head's in the game, because you have a good employee going through a hard time and not be all there. So we've had some of that inconsistency. So dude, like, I'm telling you, man, I don't even know that I would put a time on it. I would just make it a priority and say, hey, I need to find somebody as soon as possible. And, that's not, that first hire is probably not a one conversation decision. I would do some background on him, get some references, because dude, I'm telling you, bro, this one can make you break you. So make sure you get it right. It's important.
Right. Yeah, I've talked to a couple of guys that one had experience, said he had 12 years or so experience with commercial, a little bit of residential. I talked to him 2 or 3 times, and then he just kind of stopped responding. So I guess that one's out the window. The next guy I talked to,
himself out.
What's that?
He weeded himself out.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. And then the next guy I actually talked to was just a few days ago, prior military, but he wasn't too sure. He wasn't too sure about the whole sales job and commission, and wanted to talk to his dad and whatnot. And now I can't get a hold of him. So we'll just keep looking. Somebody will come along that'll, want to work. So.
Yep. 100%. It'll happen when you find the right one. And I know it's easier said than done, but patience is key here, right? Which I'm not very good at. But if I could go back in time, I mean, I was blessed. My first hire was really a home run. I mean, first of all, give a shout out to Steven over at Access. He's out of like Winder, Georgia. I brought on Steven, and I met him at the AMAR dock. Him and I started talking, and we were just chatting, and I was like, hey dude, you ever need side work, let me know. And he was like, yeah, man. So I started funneling him business until he got to the point where he realized that we were doing really well. He wasn't invested in his company, so he got frustrated and quit. And so I was like, hey man, we were on good terms. I said, that sucks, but I totally understand. You can't be mad at that. And so I said, do you know anybody else? So he recommended Timo to me, and Timo's short dude, Mexican guy, unbelievably awesome, like broken English, and pretends he doesn't know English. This is the funny part. Like, he'll go to customers' houses and pretend he doesn't know English because he doesn't like dealing with customers. But the dude can install a door. Holy cow. Like, I was so blessed because, you know, he could do 2 or 3 jobs in a day. He wanted to be paid all commission, flat rate. So, I mean, I was just able to, you know, set my pricing accordingly. And then, you know, when I screwed up, he would call me and cuss me out and tell me all the things I did wrong, and I'd fix it. So, I mean, that's what you want. You want somebody who's, you know, I would not be where I'm at without him. And he stayed with me for like 3 years.
Yeah. It's funny you say it, because I have used one guy as a subcontractor to do some door installs in the last month, because, you know, up to this last 3 months, 4 months, most of the stuff I've been doing was all repairs or just service. And then all of a sudden I got an influx of like 18 door, you know, sales. And one residence had 4 of them and 2 openers. So I used this little Hispanic guy that was referred to me by another door company here locally. And I used him, and I thought he was going to take a helper with him. And when I took him the doors that morning, he wasn't there yet. I dropped him off, and I came back because I had an event to go to. I came back. He had all 4 doors installed and 2 openers. This is like 10 hours later. I would have been lucky to have 2 of those doors probably installed by myself. Well, he had his wife up on a ladder helping him. I looked at mine, and she just shook her head no.
Don't even think about it.
Ain't happening. So,
bro,
I have used him out. So
yeah, it's incredible when you find a guy like Timo was so good at his systems and processes. He literally was so systematic. Every step had a purpose, you know, and then if you were helping him, you were either in his way or you were helping him. It's one of the two, but it ain't both.
Right.
So like he would nudge you, get out of the way, like let you know. He wouldn't even tell you. He would just like nudge you, push you, whatever. Like, but he's like, dude, he's got a mission. When he arrives, timer's set. And, you know, this is part of the downfall of paying commission is now you're on his time now.
Mm-hmm.
So he wants out. So he gets there wanting out, right? So he wants everything to go smooth. Let me get in, knock this out, get out of here because you're on my time now. So that's part of a challenge because later, you know, if you're in a situation where you grow or things change dramatically, you've created a mindset of, you know, especially if you don't have enough doors, they're going to go home, install doors for themselves, or they're going to just go home midday or whatever. So it's tough, man, because as you evolve, your needs change. And then if your employees are so set in their ways, they sometimes struggle to evolve with you. So, but you definitely need to make a good decision here. I'm sorry you haven't found anybody yet. You know, in my experience, some of the best places to look, I've always done well with posting jobs on Workable. Workable's like a, what is it, like an aggregator?
I'll write that down.
An aggregator, yeah.
Yeah, workable.com. They got a mobile app, super user-friendly. It's $129 per job that you list. And a lot of times I'll list a job like 2 or 3 times, just different verbiage, different titles, different descriptions, slightly different. One will do better than the others. And then we have a job, Jody Underhill, who does like recruiting for a living out of, I think, Sears, South Carolina. He was at
Vertical Track.
Vertical Track. Yeah. And did a presentation and threw up slides of the ads they did for Tommy. Well, I took a screenshot, like I took a little photo of it with my phone, came back and created my own and killed it. Didn't we, Tamara? I think we hired 5 or 6 people in like 2 months. It was great. And then offering like a little sign-on bonus or something like that also helps. It's attractive. So
I know that, Levi, you had mentioned in your goals for GDU that you were kind of waffling between the benefits and detriments between W-2 and 1099 employees. Ryan, do you have any thoughts on that or advice?
W-2 versus contractor.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in the beginning, I would say you got to do what you got to do, right? However you can make that work. I thought that having contractors with unbranded trucks and all that stuff was going to be a huge problem, and it really wasn't. I think that it's not a huge problem, but when you do have somebody pull up in a uniform and a branded truck, it definitely makes a difference.
For sure.
So, but in the beginning, you got to do whatever you got to do. You're in survival mode, right? Like you got to figure things out. And sometimes that doesn't look as sexy as you'd like it to look, especially when you're, in GDU with group members who have, 20 trucks on the road and they're all branded and they're telling their stories. And then you're part of, Garage Door Freedom, and you're jumping on Tommy's podcast, listening to these, millionaires talking about their business. So, and you got Dan talking about branding, and it's easy to get caught up in, I got to do all these things, right? But you're a startup, dude. Yeah. You got to do what's within your reach to make happen. And one of the biggest issues with startups is overreaching. So keep it simple, manage your finances, grind hard like you are already, and, make the best decisions you can on this hire. And if it's wrong, dude, you're just going to have to make the decision quick to get rid of them.
Yep.
A lot of them stick around too long and take you down.
That's
yes.
Right.
So, yep. And you'll know.
Consistency in everything, including price, reliability, quality, not just quality, but great quality control. These are things that describe Somer USA. Somer's not some startup company, not one that you need to be worried about going out of business in the near future. Somer and their family of businesses are $200 million companies. They're in over 100 countries, and they have locations in 20 countries. This is a large organization who stands behind their product and works through integrity. And there's not another company out there willing to drop what they're doing and help you out like Somer. These guys are awesome. Not only have they been loyal to the Torsion Talk podcast, they've been loyal to the technicians and the owners of the companies who install their product. In my opinion, if you're not at least offering Somer as an additional option, you're cheating yourself. Listen, first-time dealers, I've got a special for you. If you buy 10 or more Somers between now and the end of season 6, while supplies last, we will offer you free shipping. You have no more excuses. The prices are great. The product is amazing. Go check out Somer USA and order 10 for free shipping. I'm going to tell you guys a marketing secret. You want to gain more social media likes, shares, and follows? People love unique and cool projects. There are no better photos to share than the ones on Schweiss Doors social accounts. These guys post some incredible things. Make sure to go there and like and share their Facebook and Instagram post with your business account. So if you like their business account, you can share their post. The bifold doors are awesome, and they're doing some great projects that will go viral on social media if you share them. Go right now to Schweiss Door on Facebook and check out some of the projects they share and like their page. Oh, and don't forget, no one builds a better bifold than Schweiss.
I would have constant communication. Like the biggest thing is if the people that I love the most, like here, Aaron Overhead Doors, like the people that I think really come off doing well are pretty good communicators with me and Josh. Like they'll stay in touch or they'll communicate on the team app or whatever. It's the quiet ones that don't post anything and don't communicate with you, and you text them and you'll hear from them like 2 days later. That's the ones that you got to be careful of.
Right. Good advice.
Historically. Yeah. So what else is going on, man? So you guys do mostly service, then you got an influx of doors. What do you think the door, what do you credit all the doors, the random massive amount of door sales that you got all at once to?
Man, I'd honestly like to say it was all junky 9100 series doors because we have a lot of those around here, but it wasn't. It was just old doors. I
Did
had
you just
one.
say thank you, Wayne Dalton, for keeping garage door
That's
business?
what I heard. I heard that.
I
Yeah.
just gave a number. I didn't say the name, Brian. I just gave a number. I mean, you associated the number with the name.
I just rented a house, and as soon as I pulled up, I was like, oh crap. I opened the door, and sure enough, so I took a picture and sent it to Josh. Josh was like, we either gotta swap that out or you gotta freaking cancel the lease right now. I was like, bro, I'm not paying for a door in a house I'm gonna be in for a year.
Yeah.
That's funny because it's a lot of guys down here don't even carry, their parts. They hate working on them. They want to change everything out or, swap it. I actually carry their spring system the Tortmaster spring system on my truck because there's so many of them.
Smart.
And I give them an option. Do you want to replace it? It's this price. If you want to do a
1,500 for
Tortmaster,
or we can do 1,200 for a conversion.
So I actually
you got the same one that you started with 5 years ago. No, I'm just kidding.
So I actually do. It's right at 800 to go back to their same system, and then if they want to convert it, I do like 1,200. But they're going to get a lot longer life cycle, springs out of it. And it's probably a 50-50 on that. It goes either way. Depends on what they're wanting to do with their house right now. But most people they don't even give them that option. So they just swap them out.
That on my door in the rental that we just moved into, it has the standard op bracket that's attached to the strut, the built-in strut, and then the strut. And then they went ahead and put the top bracket on. I guess as soon as that one pulls out, you can just take the J part off.
It's there. Yeah, you
go right into it. You have to show it with the part. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah,
so
that's nice.
Our product has an issue, so much so that we went ahead and included the fix. That's pretty funny, actually.
Yeah.
So anyway, your wife does social media for your company, right?
Yeah, she does most of our postings. We actually have a great media company that we work with, such and such. But yeah, she does all of our postings and whatnot. So, and then I do all the phone calls and networking and all the field work. So, but she comes up with all the great ideas.
She wrote your core values, right? Those were really great.
Dude, not many one-man shows even have core values. You're way ahead of the game.
Well, it's like I said, I want to try to have some of these ducks in a row. I know I'm not going to have all of them, and I probably won't have all the right ones. But at least if I have some, then I like you said, it kind of gives me that advantage, I hope. It's because this isn't our first business, but it's the first business where we've done anything where we are coming up with core values and trying to actually go the right way with it and manage everything properly. The last one we did, we just worked.
So let's chat a little bit about what brought you into the garage door industry. How did you even get in?
Okay. I was working at Love Field at the airport as an aircraft mechanic, working nights and weekends. My wife wanted to have a garage sale. I had a vinyl back insulated junkie door. Spring was broke. I'd been manually lifting it for probably 6 months like that. And she couldn't open it. So I had to have it fixed. And this is kind of before YouTube was really all that big, where you could YouTube it and figure it out. Didn't know where to get parts. Called a company. They came out and replaced it. The guy was like, well, you can go inside if you want. It's going to get really hot in here. I told him, no, I'm very mechanically inclined. I can figure this out. I just want to watch you, take a few notes, maybe ask a few questions. And if you don't mind telling me, then great. If not, I'll figure it out. I was that guy that nobody likes, right? But
I'm kidding.
well, it was, but that's how I am. And I don't mind it if people stay in there with me as long as they're not telling me how to do it
Yeah.
and they want to know how it works. I don't mind
Yeah.
explaining.
I'm the same.
So anyways, the next day, his boss actually called and offered me a job. I worked for them for about 6 months before going to the oil field, and then just kind of done this on the side here and there until a few years ago. And then I decided to make it full time last August 1st, actually.
That's
It's
awesome.
exciting, your anniversary coming up.
I know. I'm trying to get all the work I can in too to make that number even better. So I got to shoot higher for next year.
Yep.
So what are some goals you have over the next year or two?
So ideally I would like to be up to between 3 and 5 trucks running full time is what I would love to have.
So a quick ramp up.
Possibly, that's what I'm hoping. Like I said, I do a lot of networking, and like I said, every day I'm working till 10 or 11 o'clock, and it's not like I'm out here goofing off. I don't watch TV, I don't do anything, I just work.
Let me ask you about the networking. When you say you're networking, you go into like local business alliances, BNI groups, chamber meetings.
Yep. So I do. There's this one group. It's called Gold Star. I do 2 of those. I do one Tuesday morning, one Wednesday morning. Tuesday afternoons, I do a lunch here in Forney with local businesses.
Do you coordinate
then-
that, or is that already in place
Nope.
and you just join?
I just joined all these, and some of them, it might be $50 a month. Some are $2 every time you go. So the one I do on Tuesdays, it's $2 to go. They give $1 to the waitress, $1 goes to them to do a donation at the end of the year to a nonprofit. So it doesn't cost anything else to go. I do
That's
that 3
awesome.
Tuesdays a month, and then I do another local one that does it once a month on Tuesdays. On Wednesday mornings, I do the other Gold Star, and then Thursday mornings, I go to a bowling alley with a Chamber of Commerce and do probably 30 or 40 businesses there. Friday mornings, I do another Chamber of Commerce. With me and another veteran are actually about to start a veterans group here in Forney. So we're going to start that probably in a month.
You're basically hustling like crazy. All right. So I've not had a ton of I did this for my first probably 3 years, 2.5, 3 years after I started my company. And we got some business from it, but it wasn't a lot.
Yeah.
So what is for someone listening who may be wanting to start their company or kind of get into doing some networking, including me, what are some successful things that you do? Because I felt like the whole time I was just getting pitched on stuff. Like people were trying to sell me all the time. And I'm just like, dude, oh my God, really? I don't need credit card processing. Thank you. Or,
or insurance. You got
got
17 insurance.
Yeah, insurance. That was going to be the next thing. I got insurance. I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah.
But how do you break through all that and actually make a difference and make a name for yourself in those groups, especially when they're kind of large?
So what I do is there are several of them that have several
your secrets, bro.
And stuff, right? Right. So I just try to give each one of them a little bit of work from people I know if they're looking for something. And then whoever's giving me the most work, that's who I'm going to send most of my work to. For instance, right now, I have a realtor. We're fixing to hopefully sell our house. We just put a bid in on a house this morning.
Congratulations,
dude.
Thanks. Thank you.
It's crazy market.
Yes. So I have one realtor that's going to sell my house. One realtor I'm going to buy a house with. Because I have the one that yes, because one of them has given me a lot of garage door work, but one of them has been showing my wife houses for, I don't know, over a year now. So I can't just leave either one of them hanging. So you got to kind of divide it up,
Yeah.
But I've probably had, out of these groups, I have one of my groups that I do, I've probably had 70, 80,000 this year come in just off of that. Off the group from the people in it.
From referrals, yeah.
Off of referrals.
So how many hours I guess what I would be doing, because I'm a math guy, right? So I'm trying to calculate everything. I'm trying to take how many hours am I investing on a monthly basis, tally that up, and then come up with how much money I've been referred and see if it's worth it. But you can't really go off of that because it kind of compounds on itself, right? I mean, so you're going to start out slow usually because people are, it's consistency, I've heard, is important. Like
Yes, you've got to
showing
go
up
every
all the
week.
time, building trust, you got to go every week, which is really difficult for a business owner. But it sounds like you've prioritized it so much so that you've even kind of put it in front of your customers because, you know, our like one of our hottest availability times is like 8 to 10, 8 to 11. And you've basically said, sorry, we're not even doing that. But, you know, I'll come to you today. It'll just be between now and midnight.
Yeah. And so up and before even I went full time doing this, I was working this for 3 years after I got off my first job of the day. I worked, you know, an 8 to 5 job. And then from 6 o'clock until whenever, I was running garage door calls to where I knew I could support my family and do this. And then once I got to the point where I was doing it every single night and weekends, I quit my job, started doing this. Now, then I had a couple of days where I'd be slow, maybe not anything. And then it gradually built up to the point where now I'm all day, every day, except for that morning time frame. So it's kind of the same thing as I was for the last 3 years. I'm doing it again. So now I'm to the point where I've got to hire someone. But I felt like that networking was very important for me to kind of help get my name out there, with it just being me, new to this area where I'm at, because I didn't grow up here. I grew up an hour from here. So in order for me to grow my business here, I really had to network with the people and the business owners that were in my area where I wanted to service.
Yeah. Dig it. Well, bro, it sounds like you're killing it.
Thank you.
Got a lot of respect for you and Julie. Really, just Julie. No, I'm just kidding.
Probably more so Julie.
Yeah. I met you. I met you for the first time in person, I believe, at Garage Door Freedom or Vertical Track.
Vertical Track. Yeah.
All the names. He's got like 4 or 5 things that he's got different names for. It gets me confused. But it's Vertical Track promoting Garage Door Freedom, which it was an amazing event. If you guys haven't been, Tommy throws a great event. I heard the second one was even better than the first one. I thought the first one was good. So highly encourage you guys to go check that out. But I remember you and I talking and you just telling me like how you're ready to grow. You want to get it, and how hard you were working. And I mean, you're not joking, dude. I mean, you're pretty much up and at it at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning and not getting home till close to midnight. There's a long day. You're 41 years old. I mean, that's a pretty big, you know, that's a pretty big hustle for our age. I'm 43 and I don't want to do that anymore.
You don't want to do that anymore.
I got a lot of respect for you, bro. Which is probably why you're looking for the field guy. You may be feeling part of what I'm feeling. I'm like, okay.
Well, I'm, you know, I do have one of my grandkids that lives with me, so I would like to be home in the evenings and spend more time with him and my wife, of course.
Tuck him into bed.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, bro,
he sleeps in the bed with us most of the time, but he just, we put him to bed in his anyways. But I'd love to be at home more and spend more time with him. So
for sure.
That's awesome, bro. Well, look, man, thanks for taking the time to come on, as busy as you are, to cut out, 30, 40 minutes with us. Seems like a big deal to me. So I want to say thank you.
It's huge. It's huge for me. Thank you.
I appreciate you coming on. Listen, I think that Forney's got someone from my interactions with Levi that is going to do everything with integrity. He's going to do it right, and probably not the cheap, right? You're not the cheap guy.
I tell everybody I'm not the cheapest.
Yeah, and you shouldn't be. You're knowledgeable. I'm sitting here thinking, dude, like, if anybody can do this job, a freaking airplane or helicopter mechanic should be able to do it very well. Right?
Right.
I mean,
this is pretty simple.
Yeah. And it's like, you gotta have some, you've been trained to make sure all the nuts and bolts are tight, because you don't
Details
want to
matter.
find out that you don't want to find out that you left a screw out while
right.
while the plane's taking off. So I still remember when I started in the garage door industry, I would at night wake up in the middle of the night and be like, oh crap, did I tighten that bolt? And it would bother me for like an hour. I wouldn't be able to go to sleep. And I'd be like, dude, I gotta go back tomorrow. And I did that probably like 3 or 4 times. And there were a couple where they were still loose. And there were a couple where I had tightened them. And I was just like, dang.
Yeah.
But the customers were all like, dude, that's funny that you woke up in the middle of the night. And they were like, I respect that. Thank you for
Yeah.
coming to check on it, even though you
And they
tightened
probably
it.
still call you today.
Yeah. So, it makes a difference, even though I felt foolish calling. I just kind of made a joke about it and was like, I'm sorry, I just want to come check it. I woke up in the middle of the night thinking about it and I want to make sure it's done right. And if I woke up in the middle of the night, I'm not going to be able to go back to sleep now until I know. So I need to lay my hands on it, make sure it's tight, and we should be good. So an airplane mechanic, I don't know what rules you guys have in place, but good Lord, you definitely going to wake up in the middle of the night thinking, did I tighten that?
Yeah.
The main connection from the plane to the
there's one screw in the nose of the plane that goes the whole length. Most people don't know this. They'll go the whole length. If you pull that screw out, plane falls apart.
Nuh-uh.
That sounds
You
like
joking me? Oh
Yeah,
no, I don't believe you, bro. All right, Levi, listen, maybe we don't let you fix our planes, but we'll definitely let you fix our garage door. Just kidding.
I appreciate
Tanner's
it.
Garage Door and Forney. And listen, if you want to know more about them, check them out. Julie does a great job with the Facebook. You can check them out at Tanner's Garage Doors. And anything else you want to say?
No, sir. That's it. I appreciate it. Thank y'all.
What kind of garage door you got on your house?
Okay.
I love this answer. I love these questions. It's always so good.
Here's what I'm going to say. Okay. I have
Disclaimer.
2 8x7 doors. I have not even looked at the brand because I could care less. They open and they close.
You're the guy.
But I did just have to
downhill
add an adjustable bracket to it the other day because it ripped the center style loose. So
are you not servicing your door, bro?
no, I do. It's just when I got here, okay, we moved here 4 years ago and I knew the door then was junk. I was like, oh, we got to do something about that. But now I've been so busy, I couldn't do anything about it. Well, now we're getting ready to sell it. I'm like, I think I'm going to go get some insulation, throw it in there real quick to hide all that. So they'll call me, a little business card on the wall, maybe a can of spray lube with my personal Tanner's Garage Door lubricant on there. And they'll give me a call and I can replace the doors for them. But the house we're fixing to buy, it's got those fabulous 9100s in it.
Heck yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Hopefully with a heavy overlay and no struts.
So I will be changing those
glued
out
on the
real
op
fast.
bracket.
Oh,
Okay, that's enough. We won't bash. All right. Thank you guys for following us. Check us out on Facebook. We got a couple groups on Facebook that you should check out. Definitely check out if you're a business owner. Check out Garage Door. What is it? GDT owners,
GDT
managers, and suppliers or something like that. That's a good group. Check out Garage Door U. That's a page, right?
That's a page, yes.
Go like the page. We keep people updated, have some good discussions in there. Tamara does a really good job of posing some good questions that spark conversation. And then we have Garage Door sales and something else, techniques or whatever. Check that out. That's a good one. That's a group. So I'm going to try to be more active in there. But in case we don't have enough, also like Torsion Talk podcast page. And you guys stay cool out there. Thank you for following along. We love you. We appreciate you. Smash that like button. Just kidding.
Weird.
What? Why is that weird?
Just weird.
All right. Love you guys. Stay cool. Have fun.